So today, let's dive into something pretty incredible, a child's social toolkit. We're going to explore how emotions are so much more than just feelings. They're actually the essential tools kids use to connect, to cooperate, and really to build their entire social world.
You know, it all starts with that very first sound a baby makes. A newborn's cry, it isn't just random noise, right? It's the first word in a language we all understand, the language of emotion. It's this powerful, primal signal that kicks off a whole lifetime of social connection, and it's all built on that emotional foundation.
The journey from a newborn to a 6-year-old is just astounding. I mean, one communicates with simple cries and smiles. The other can feel left out of a game, tell you exactly why, and then negotiate their way back in. So, how on earth does that huge leap happen? Well, that's exactly what we're about to unpack. Okay, so why emotions? Why are they the foundation for everything? Well, the answer is actually evolutionary. You see, emotions aren't just for us as individuals. They evolved for a really critical social purpose, to help us think together and cooperate on a scale that is totally uniquely human. So how does that work in practice? Well, think of emotions as a window into someone else's mind. When one kid shows pure joy, another one instantly understands their goal. When they show frustration, it signals a problem that maybe they can solve together. This is how individual wants turn into a shared mission, what the researcher Michael Tomasello calls collective intentionality. It's that simple, emotional drive to connect that ends up building friendships, classrooms, and entire cultures. So, where does this social toolkit actually begin? Well, you have to go all the way back to the very first year of life. This is when infants get their first essential tools, the ones they need not just to survive, but to truly, deeply connect with others.
Around 2 or 3 months, this absolute game changer appears, the social smile. Now, this isn't just a reflex, it's an invitation. The baby smiles, the parent smiles back, and this powerful serve-and-return interaction literally builds the neural pathways for connection. It's solidifying that first crucial bond. And what's really fascinating is that new abilities forge new emotions. Once a baby can crawl, their world suddenly explodes with goals. Like, I need to get that toy across the room. But of course, goals also bring obstacles and frustration. The simple act of wanting something and being blocked sharply increases how often they show anger. A new physical skill has just unlocked a brand new emotional tool.
By 12 months, infants have mastered another incredible skill, social referencing. In the classic visual cliff experiment, a baby is at the edge of what looks like a drop-off, and they look to their parent for clues. If the parent looks happy and encouraging, most babies will cross. But if the parent looks scared, none of them will. They are literally reading their parents' emotions to decide if the world is safe or not.
Now, the toolkit gets a major upgrade in the toddler years. Around 18 months, there's this huge cognitive shift, the dawn of self-awareness. That realization that I am a separate person from you unlocks a whole new category of social emotions. You can see this so clearly in the famous mirror test. So, a toddler has a little secret spot of rouge put on their nose and is then placed in front of a mirror. Right around 18 months, they'll touch their own nose, proving they know the reflection is me. And get this, the data is crystal clear. The kids who pass this test are the same ones who start showing embarrassment. You can't feel self-conscious without a self to be conscious of. This is the moment pride and even a little social anxiety are born. And this new self-awareness immediately transforms how they help people. At 18 months, a toddler shows what we call instrumental help. They see an adult struggle to pick something up, and they'll spontaneously help. But if they try to comfort you, it's usually with what they find comforting. Now, fast forward to age 3, and the leap is just profound. A 3-year-old sees a friend crying, and they don't just offer a teddy bear. They might go find that friend's specific mom, because they now understand what that unique person actually needs. That, right there, is the birth of true empathy.
Then we hit the preschool years, and a truly revolutionary tool gets added to the kit: language. A child's newfound ability to talk about feelings and understand that others have different minds, well, it transforms them into true collaborative partners.
So, what really happens when children can finally put words to all those complex feelings they've been experiencing for years? Well, the answer changes everything.
Get this, by the time children are just 3 years old, a full 50% of their conversations about emotions are not just about naming the feeling, but about figuring out its cause.
They become these little emotional detectives, constantly asking why. Why is he sad? Why is she mad? It shows this deep, deep desire to understand the inner worlds of other people.
This new language skill hooks up with a developing theory of mind, that critical aha moment when a kid finally gets that other people have different thoughts and beliefs. This is the engine behind everything. It's what fuels pretend play. I mean, to say, I'll be the fireman, you be the person I save, you have to understand different roles and negotiate a shared story. It's also the key to solving conflicts. Instead of just grabbing a toy, they can now use their words and say, I'm mad because you took my block. These are the advanced social skills that build real, lasting friendships.
Okay, so we've seen how this social toolkit gets built, piece by fascinating piece. Now, let's take a look at the complete set and what it all means for those of us who are helping children learn to use it every single day.
You can see this whole journey happens in a pretty clear, predictable order. It all starts with those basic emotional signals in the first year. Then comes that dawn of self-awareness and early empathy around 18 months. That's followed by the explosion of emotional language, which then leads to the complex cooperation and pretend play we see in preschoolers. Each stage builds directly on the last, creating a skilled and competent social partner.
You know, this whole developmental journey, it isn't just academic. It completely changes how we see every single interaction with a child. And it leaves us with a really important question to carry into our homes and our classrooms. In every response, every conversation, and every moment of play, how are we actively helping children find and sharpen every single tool in their vital social toolkit?